Hi, we're back again. And we have a guest now that you should be familiar with. She's been on before. She's a friend of our show, and she's a wonderful author with a brand new book. Miss Gail Daley.
Hi, thank you for having me, Carol.
Oh, I'm always glad to have you come in because your books are so fascinating, and you actually could give us a little story about your books, which is interesting.
Well, this new one, it's just launched. It's called To Love and Honor, and it is number 5 in the Handfasting series. The main character in this one, Lucinda, actually appeared as a secondary character in this book here from this day forward. And the handfasting is, I've had people tell me that it's unusual for sci-fi because it is not strictly sci-fi books. Mm-hmm. It is about a family who helped colonize a planet. They are one of the leading families, and their second daughter is Lucinda is one of her adopted children. Mm-hmm. And Lucinda was what they call a designer child, and which basically means that her genetics was designed in a lab.
Oh.
And it was done by a lieutenant in the Thieves Guild. Mm-hmm. And when she was 12, Lady Catherine, who is her foster mother, mm-hmm. She and her husband adopted her, Lucinda, and her 2 sisters. Lucinda is the genes that they gave her genius level intelligence. Ooh. And also a need to make sense out of chaos by putting it in order. And the guild inadvertently also gave her a need for balance and justice, which as she becomes an adult, she chooses to fight her former masters by becoming a police officer.
Wow.
And this is actually a type of police procedural, mm-hmm. but because it is about what being a police officer on this colony world involves. And she gets handed a couple of really nasty cases right off the bat. Mm. The first one is an alien mother and daughter are running from off-planet bounty hunters. Mm-hmm. And she gets involved with them, and to keep them safe, she ends up fighting one of the warriors from their planet. The planet that they come from is a female-based theocracy, mm-hmm. And the mother Espone left without their permission because her elder daughter had gone missing, and they wouldn't give her the money, which is actually her money, to help look for her. Hmm. So she left, and she went looking anyway, and they sent the bounty hunters after them. A second case involves a younger double of herself who stumbles into the precinct office. Ooh. And she realized the child had escaped from a sex trafficking ring for children. And it was really nasty. Anyway, she has to locate the ring, rescue the other children, and she has help from the best private eye on the planet, who incidentally is also her boyfriend. But that's still a pretty tough case, and she has to. One of the things that she ended up having to do is there's a Thieves Guild assassin running around, and she ends up having to fight her because she was connected with the guy that was handling the sale of the children.
Oh my gosh! And
it's like I said, it's different in that respect. But Lucinda, we first meet Lucinda in this book here, and she was helping her cousin, Lady Jayla, who had again. A connection with the Thieves Guild, had bought a shop in the city, and turned out the shop had previously been a fence. And everybody thought that Lady Jayla was a part of it, or if they didn't think she was a part of the fencing operation, they figured that she would make really good bait.
Oh, gosh.
So she and Lucinda basically solved that particular series themselves. And this particular set of books, there was three original Handfasting books, and then I have 6 planned, which is about the children.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, Jayla was the first because she was the oldest, and then Lucinda because Lucinda was very involved in Jayla's case. The next book, the one I'm working on now, is about Juliet, who is she becomes Lady Catherine's, what they call her first daughter, which means that she's the direct heir to the island that Lady Catherine is going to rule.
Oh my gosh!
So, but she gets tapped. This is it right here. That's the cover, the projected cover for it.
I like that.
She gets tapped to go with an expedition that is looking for ruins of an ancient city on one of the unexplored continents. They've seen it. They get to when the planet was first discovered, the scouts came in and they did this overview of these things. And the guy that's running the expedition, he had access to that, and he talked someone into sponsoring his group so they could go find it, because they were going to find lots of things. They're not archaeologists. There's a geologist, a xenobiologist, a map maker, a recorder, and then of course they have to go get there on horseback because the clans, although they have access to shuttles and sleds and things, which are modern technology, they don't really use them in outgoing places like this because,
oh my gosh.
I mean, let's face it, horses and mules are cheaper.
You're so creative and so imaginative. I love that always. Your stories have so much feeling in them, and I really enjoy them.
Oh, well, thank you. As I say, Lucinda in this one, she grows up quite a bit. I mean, this is her first job because she starts out as a rookie, and their first assignment when she was still with her trainer, I kind of threw it in for kind of comic relief a little bit because I like to have a little humor in my stories. But they broke up a fight over a man between his wife and the secretary, and they got doused with Chinese noodles and sauce and all kinds of things, which is basically, this is something that I understand happens to policemen a lot. They don't talk about it because it's not glamorous and it's not, oh, gung-ho, we're going to do this. But sometimes when you go out to a domestic disturbance, things can get really, really ugly.
Oh, that's for sure. Honey, thank you so much for telling us about your new book. And I'm going to wait excitingly for the next book after this.
Okay.
But your stories are all very, and where can I get them? Get your books?
Okay, well, they're everywhere on ebooks.
Oh, ebooks, okay.
The paperback copies are basically found in 2 places. One is my website. The other is Amazon. Well, 3 really, because I will be putting a few copies. There are a few copies down at the Water Tower Gallery.
Oh, wonderful!
Because I do have some of them down there, and I will be adding this one to the selection down there
Fantastic.
as well.
I'm so glad you came
Well,
in
thank you
because
for having
they're
me.
always so exciting and different than a lot of the things that I hear. So that's really good.
Thank
And
you.
I know that you'll come back.
Yes.
Because we like to have you on here, and we love your books.
Okay, well, thank you, Carol.
Okay, honey. We'll be right back.